Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. It's Friday, April. What's it? April the 3rd. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm here driving the bus with Inti Campo, and he's going to be checking out their chat groups, looking for questions. If you're interested in asking some questions, he's going to check for those questions, and we're going to be answering those questions at the end of this video. So, Inti, say hi to everybody.
Hello everybody. I also have a little disclaimer for you. It's always good to remember that this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not a financial advice. You always have to do your own research before putting your hard-earned money on the market.
All right. With that said, we're going to be be doing a little bit of Bitcoin TA, and then we're going to be talking about the 1.5 billion dollars of tether that's hanging around, ready to be deployed. Right. I feel a lot of FoMo coming into the market. Yeah. So, anyways, but before that, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the sad fact that we now have 1 million cases of the bear flu right here, which is the coronavirus. Yeah, it's so sad. It's horrible. We have like 54,000 deaths. And I know you might want to compare this to the amount of people that are out there, but each one of these people are somebody that's a grandma, a mother, a father, that somebody loved that's now gone, and that's the most important thing. Thanks to this horrible virus. Now, it's rolling around the world, affecting everybody, including us here in Chile. We currently have, I think it's like we're at 3,000 cases. 3,000, let's see here, where's Chile? 3,500 cases. Chile, there it goes. 3,400 cases and growing. Yeah, so please, if you have to go out, a key thing that you need to know about this virus is to wear a mask. The reason why you should wear a mask is that if you have it, you won't be spreading it, and two, if somebody else has it, you'll lower the chance of you getting it. And on top of that, even if you do get it, your viral load will be very low, meaning that it'll give your body a chance to fight it off. So that's my public service announcement for today. All right, on to the Bitcoin TA. Wow, we got some serious FOMO action happening here. Bitcoin has passed its 200 period moving average on the 4-hour. First time this has been done since a very long time. It's been above the 200 period moving average. Let's see here. When was the last time it was above it on the 4-hour? That was like way back in February the 25th. Wow, it's been over a month, right? We've been just getting devastated by that. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe no, it did not get any higher than that. All right, so right now the current price is almost 7,000. Is this shy of 7,000? Let's see here. Green candle, it's 6,970. And yeah, I'm sure people are excited to know, what should we do? I mean, if I didn't get in down here, right, and I missed this move, right, what should I do? Is it too late to jump on the boat? Now, it's kind of scary to be jumping on the boat here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of shakeouts here. You can try it, but you're gonna have to accept some losses here. Should you jump on this boat and you want to take some stop losses to avoid losing a lot of money, because this thing could, remember, Bitcoin rate is wild west. This could easily just come back and scare everybody out of this. So be careful when you if you want to jump on here. Best advice for you guys to do is to take one of these bottoms here, probably these ones right here, as a stop loss. This is pretty low, so it's a large stop loss down here, long stop loss, but is probably the most likely point where you can survive and hold on for a little bit. The price is, sorry for those people who are watching on a cell phone or listening in their car or whatever. Actually, you shouldn't be in your car. Is $6,561 is where you should that should be your ultimate stop loss for this if you wanted to jump on this train here. There's a lot of money coming in, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing FOMOs out into all the way up to 8,500. Alrighty, so with that said, if we were to try to jump on here just immediately, that's a large percentage, dude. That's a large percentage down, 5.1% down. But again, you can, with a little bit of money management, you can survive this downward movement. And you know what? You could always just start off with $50, maximum loss down here to stop loss at the 6,000, what was it? 6,575, I believe it was. Yeah, 6,575 and 1 cent or something like that. Yeah, no, 1 cent, 13 cents. But you can start there and as your stop loss is okay. I'm going to lose $50 if it hits this stop loss. But then you could always add more as it comes back down and see if you can because I think it might bounce off of these trend lines. You have this trend line down here, this orange one down here that could bounce off of as well should it roll back. But I think it most likely bounce off of this green one that I have drawn here, and holding the line for you should it decide to come back. There's a lot of people down here that could get stop loss. They're here, the knob stop. These are knob stops, which are at $6,657. That's a knob stop, right? Same with 6,735. Don't be a knob. Those are knob stops, right? They will try to take you out should you try to jump on this train here through using leverage. All right, so let's see here. Let's go down to the 5 minutes, see if there's any kind of indication where we can go, yeah, we can trade this thing, buy this thing here. Yeah, we're still too oversold here. I would take precautions here. I think we should wait. Even though we have the cool thing is we have a lot of volume coming in. The what's it called? Momentum is to the downside, right? We're actually live. Mi amor, estamos en vivo en el video ahora mismo. Sí. Yeah.
Que viene a buscar mi permiso para irme.
Sí, está bien. Okay, so yeah. So with that said, when you're on live, right? You never know what's gonna happen. So my wife,
especially if you're recording on your pilot.
Exactly. So my wife just needed her permission to leave the house, right? To go to their office. Anyways, let's continue here on the 5 minutes.
Excuse me, Davinci. Could you move your cam down so people can see the chart better?
Oh, shame. Okay, sure, not a problem. I thought we did that. Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, we did that,
but it switched. It switched, didn't it?
Yes.
That's horrible. Okay, so there we go. I mean, I switched it yesterday, but it gets. And now we have waffles back in to give you your allergies again. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna have to move waffles because Inti here is suffering from allergies badly.
Yeah.
And so
sorry about that. For people who doesn't know, I'm allergic to cat fur. So I started sneezing uncontrollably, and that's not very pleasant for you viewers.
Exactly.
Thank you, Davinci.
It'll make it seem like he's got what's it called, coronavirus, and we don't want to get any on you. All right. With that said, we are definitely moving higher. Right, we've got a lot of volume coming in. Right, But that volume, right? Once if somebody decides to say, hey, you know what, I want to get it cheaper, that could drop off very fast, and then the sellers, the bears, could come in and push this market down. So be careful. Even though there's a lot of FOMOing happening here, you can see on the 5-minute chart here. Yeah. So. Whew. Yeah, I would not be. There's a high probability that these bottoms here at 60, 67.43 could get taken out, because those guys could go, oh, you know what? I'm going to move my buy orders down here so that I feel that there's a lot of pressure, selling pressure. So because there's people up here who are like, oh my God, I want to sell my bitcoins. I can't believe I bought these bitcoins at $9,000, $8,500. I want to get out, and they're going to push this market down and sell into the strong hands that are coming into this market that realize that, hey, wait a minute, oh my God, I can't buy gold, physical gold. I can't even buy a 400 ounce good delivery bar, period. The only thing I can get is bitcoins, and I could get delivery right now. So this is going to change the dynamic hugely going forward, I think, for bitcoins. If the market continues to prevent people from buying gold and silver, I mean, I can't buy a 1,000-ounce bar, silver ounce bar, good delivery bar. This is the bars that, you know, the Crimex is saying that they're supposed to be delivered on. Can't get those either. So all right, well then, you know what? If I can't get those, and I can't get gold, I can definitely get Bitcoin.
There you go.
And that's all you've got to protect yourself. So hey, you know what? And if you're smart enough to know that, hey, wait a second here, I can buy all the paper I want, but I can't buy the physical. Something ain't right. You're gonna do something, and this is the something you need to do, is to buy Bitcoins. Alrighty. With that said, I think I don't think it's a good idea to be buying up here, right? It looks like this thing's gonna roll over, could pump, right? But it's too dangerous to buy it up here, because, like, I mean, if we just do a fib, a non-street retracement from what we just recently did, you can see that we're probably at the 78.6 level, right? Let's see here. Let me, oops, what the hell? On this recent pump, we're probably at the 78.6. Well, we're at least at the 60, yeah, we're at the 61.8, and we rejected it from the 61.8. That's scary. But I feel that we might pump all the way to 78.6 here and then get rejected. So be careful here. This looks like a setting up for bull traps to, like, really liquidate the bulls on the leverage exchanges. So please do not jump in on this rally here at all. All right. With that said, let's head over to the discussion of Tether issuing more than 1.5 billion in USDT. And what's interesting about this, right? I've been hearing that most of that money is going on to the exchanges, getting ready to be deployed into Bitcoin. So yeah, those people are ready. Those are the FOMOs, basically, because you know what? Most of that money, I bet you, is just people who are like, okay, I'm panicking here. I know the market's not going to go back up, and it's going to be, this is Great Depression era times, right? Because, like, when you think about what's happening, about how everybody's super leveraged, and nobody can pay their bills because they're not receiving income, right? You're talking about a franchise that's super leveraged, which sells to a person who wants to run the franchise to make money, and he gets super leveraged, and then the franchise owner has property that he's renting to this super leveraged person, and they can't pay because they're a
It's
restaurant.
basic.
I mean, it's
Basically the same that happened 100 years ago.
a domino effect of epic proportions, where you can't put your money into any kind of business or invest in any kind of business, whether it's restaurants, hotels, airlines. Everything is gone and wiped out. I mean, and then they're planning to bail it out, so that means it's going to be even more inefficient than it is right now. So clearly, this is going to turn into a very long a depression if they bail these companies out, because those people will continue to do the wrong thing because they're rewarded for doing the wrong thing. And so you can see clearly that moving into financial assets of investing in other businesses is a bad idea. And those people are going looking for other investments, such as physical assets that will rise during this inflationary time. And clearly that's gold, clearly that's silver, but you can't get any. So what can you get? Bitcoin. All right, with that said, let's move on to the questions and answers for today.
Oh, my favorite part. Okay, so this is from Marcus D. and says, isn't Tether essentially a way of printing money into Bitcoin? What's the difference from the Fed printing money and Tether printing a USDT?
Well, we know for sure from the last time I checked, actually, that Tether has about 75% backing, which is quite interesting because about 80% of the people who own Tether, not 80%, but the highest percentage of people, the people who are the very rich people, right, which is a very small number of people, own 80% of all the Tether. So, and the rest is just us, right? So the small number of people who own a large number of Tether, they're going to be guaranteed their money. But whilst everybody else, probably not. So that's what we know about Tether. Now, so we do know that they do have some backing. So they're not all printing just 100% money completely without actually receiving the dollars to cover it. So we do know that. But what they're doing is they're actually buying assets such as Bitcoin, right? Such as bonds to offset those dollars, to offset the Tether. And that's very, very dangerous because if things go against them, those assets could evaporate, and if those people want their dollars, they're going to be SOL. So as long as markets are going up and whatever asset that they've purchased to back up the Tether, they'll be fine, and nothing will happen. But if there's some sort of disruption, oh my God, they're going to go down. And of course, another issue is the government could just say, okay, enough of that, right? You're done, right? But you'll know when that's happening because you'll see people leaving Tether in droves. So there's going to be indicators, right? Well ahead of that, that you can look at. And so you would definitely want to keep an eye on that if you own Tether. As for them, they're not printing money because they can. I guarantee you, they can go, you know what, I'm just going to create a bunch of Tether and buy Bitcoins. They can do that, and they probably have done that. But they're probably not doing it at a crazy extent that would cause them to go belly up, basically. And that's what I think. And I think they're very cautious on that, and they understand, hey, you know what, we can't do that too much. All right, next question.
All right. This has to do with the last one. This is from Enoch8. It says, hi Davinci, I'm from Europe and my question is according to bailout and hyperinflation. In parallel with USDT, who is backed by USD, how will this affect Bitcoin?
Sorry, what was that? I was like spaced out for a second there.
Okay, according to Bailey and hyperinflation,
Mhm.
in parallel with USDT, who is backed by USD, how will this affect to Bitcoin?
How will hyperinflation affect Bitcoin? Is really the question, right? When he's saying,
Yeah, since USDT is backed by USD.
well, the USD, you could just consider that Tether will just lose just as much value as the dollar because it's connected directly to the dollar. So you don't have to concern yourself with that. And let's just say that their assets they own, but let's just say they own a bunch of Bitcoin, right? You just know that you're going to be and hyperinflation happens, right? And they own Bitcoin as the backing of the Tether. You just know for sure that you will definitely get your dollars. You just won't get your value from your dollars. Because obviously they're gonna have like Bitcoin, which is at millions of dollars, and you know your $1 your $1 is worthless, right? Absolutely worthless because they have enough to cover it. That few dollars that you put into the Tether. Now, hyperinflation, yeah, you don't have to. I would not be in Tether during hyperinflation, and you know what? I think that's probably the best place to be just before the hyperinflation because you could dump it, and so you'll see Tether probably break the dollar when people are dumping to get out of it. So yeah, that's gonna be fun times had by all. Okay, next question.
I have to go to this question because everyone is asking for some reason and
Okay.
I cannot understand. For example, this is from Robin One Tinsina and says, would you imagine Bitcoin surviving in the event where world goes backward, i.e. no internet, no electricity? That also has to do with a question that Carpenter 790 also said that how would Bitcoin survive if there no electricity, no internet? Would they trade it via radio or something? And I mean, if we get without electricity and without internet nowadays, the less you're going to care about is Bitcoin. Believe me.
Or your
Because
gold.
yeah, because you're not going to have banks. The whole system. I'm not talking about the economic system. I'm talking that everything you know is going to stop working.
Yeah,
It's not like we can go backwards like 150 years ago when people could survive perfectly without internet or without electricity. It's not like that. This infrastructure is not prepared. It will be like a total collapse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you might as Bitcoin and
You wouldn't care about Bitcoin anymore.
You wouldn't care. You would. The only thing you'd be caring about is okay. Where can I get seeds? Where can I get plants? How can I get bullets, guns? How do I protect my family? Everything else, you'll just forget about everything. So you have to understand, right? On a bell curve of risks, right? Right. What is the risk that an asteroid, the planet-killing asteroid, hits us and wipes out every living thing? Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? Right? No. Right? It's very low on the probability scale. Right? Extremely low. But it's still possible. But it's low on the probability scale. So do you prepare for that? Do you prepare for okay, planet-killing asteroid, meaning all life gets wiped out. How do you prepare for that? Please, if somebody can let me know how you prepare for that, I will do so. But since you can't, you just drop that off of your list of things to do prepare for. Same with the lesser of the scale, where is it possible that all electricity be wiped out of this planet? It is a possibility that is very interesting, because when you think about it, right? When you really, really think about it, you have to figure out, how is that possible that electricity doesn't work anywhere? Right? How's that could be possible? You're saying, well, solar flare. Okay. Well, let's work that out. a solar flare comes, right, which has happened before, right, it only hits one side of the planet, right? And so it only will wipe out electricity for half the planet. And then it's gone, right? And then so the other half still has electricity. And then you could start again. Once the flare is gone, you can start up electricity again, right? You'll work to rebuild the power stations, right? You'll work to rebuild the systems in place that in order to get them back up and running again, right? It'll take some time, but it will happen, right? So at the same time, right, this is not an absolute thing where, oh my God, we're never, ever going to have electricity again. So for example, let's just say a solar flare occurs and we on this side of the planet, and then all of a sudden we have no electricity. Well, the fact that if you have a generator, right, that generator is turned off right now, right? If you have that generator and it's turned off right now, nothing's going to happen to it. So once the solar flare passes, you pull the generator cord, you turn it on, and you have electricity. so that's why I'm like, okay, when people put together these scenarios, I'm thinking, okay, so at what point can you have absolutely zero electricity forever? There is none. There is no scenario where that happens, unless you're talking about everybody else is dead, right? There's the only way that happens is everybody's dead, right? So when you come up with these scenarios, right, think about how can we ever have a point where we have zero electricity? How? It's just, I don't see any way. So don't ask that question, because they're just not, without saying, okay, well, if this event happens which causes zero electricity, right, forever, how will Bitcoin survive? Right? So what event do you see where we'll have zero electricity? I can't see one, ever, where you can never turn back on the power. If you can see one, please let me know, because I don't get it. All right, next question.
All right, this is from Risk Ghazali. Excuse me if I pronounce your name badly. Davinci, I want to ask why you hate taxes if it can develop the country and help the poor and society. So if there's no taxes, the country will collapse.
Okay, no, that's not true, because did you know that America had no income taxes for the first 100 years of its existence? Zero income tax, and in fact, it is against their constitution to have an income tax, a tax that's direct tax on the people's labor. So, because you were born into slavery, you expect slavery to be the only way to make things work, right? And so that's understandable, right? Because the back in the days past, right, when we did have actual slaves that we beat and whipped and told them that they shot them and killed them if they didn't do the work, right? People believed that there was no other way to organize society without slaves. No other way. And they believed it 100%. But now, with the fact that we got rid of slavery, that we don't. And it seems stupid that we actually believed that. Do you see the connection there? I hope you do.
Actually, some interesting historical fact. You know that after Germany lost the Second World War, they had to pay for all the destruction of the war. I don't know, it was like in less than 10 years, they end up paying all the debt and they reconstructed the country. Yes. While they were split in half because of the Soviet Union.
But do you know why?
How? They had no taxes at all. No taxes, so their society could grow. They could make money and they could pay for all the destruction that were made during the World War.
Are you talking about World War II or World War One?
World War II. They had to pay the destruction twice.
Because I remember they had to pay for the World War One or through reparations, but I don't think they paid reparations the second time around. The reason why is because that's the reason why we had World War II, because they had to pay reparations. They couldn't afford it, so they went into they printed more money in order to pay off their debts, reparation debts, which effectively caused the Second World War because they were completely wiped out. As for from what I've read. Now, you might be right, and I might be wrong. I'd like to.
I might have confused you. I apologize.
But from what I read is that during the Bretton Woods agreements, and they decided to not punish Germany all over again because of what had happened the last time they did. So I could be wrong, but that's what I read, and I'd like to find out the answer. So let's do that. Let's make that the project for today. Let's find out what the answer.
Yeah.
The real answer
Also,
is.
if people know the correct answer, please leave it in the comments below. We are not the owners of truth, so we could be wrong.
Yeah.
So if somebody knows and have some sources, please leave it in the comments down below. We really appreciate it.
All right. With that said, next question.
Next question. So this one is from Alex Crypto. This is a little bit off topic. It's kind of recurrent. I really want to hear your answer. What happens if Satoshi, if he's still alive, sells his 1 million Bitcoin? Would people lose confidence in Bitcoin and everyone sell it and it goes to zero? It's like apocalyptic event?
No, because that would be a apocalyptic event for Satoshi. Because he would not get the value of those Bitcoins at that price if he tried to sell them all. So why would he do something as dumb as that, right? So I'm sure he's smarter than that, right? Since he did build Bitcoin. So you don't have to worry about that. Even if he did, let's just pretend somehow he was like just a complete idiot, and he decided, I'm going to get all these Bitcoins, move them onto exchange, right? The second he moved them onto an exchange, the price would drop like a rock. The second, right? And so he would be, because the market is a forward discounting mechanism. That means it anticipates what somebody else is going to do in order to get ahead of that curve. So everybody will dump all their Bitcoins ahead of time. The people, well, mostly traders, so you would probably not. The hodlers of last resort probably would not do that. But a lot of traders would, in order to maximize them buying Bitcoins at a lower price, because Satoshi's going to sell it to them. So yeah, I mean, and then after that, all those people will get the Bitcoins that Satoshi's selling, and then price will come back up again, and then Satoshi will be crying because he sold all his Bitcoins at a low price.
Oh my god.
All right, next question.
Okay, this is from Alex said. He said, okay, we know that the banks are our enemies and not interested in welfare. But how will they benefit of the dollar collapse, hyperinflation, and this current economical crisis?
Oh, so if I repossess your house as a bank, right? The way the banking system works, right, is that I'm going to print up a bunch of money, loan it to you, and then you're going to work like a slave, because I didn't have to do anything for that money. Pay me the interest, which is the real wealth, right, of you working. Front load that interest in the very beginning so that I get benefit of your labor free. Free labor, right? The benefit gets front loaded first, right? Because you know how interest works, right? When you buy a house, you notice that your principal doesn't go down very fast, right? Because all that interest up front is your labor, right, going to the bank so that they get to spend it first because they know that, hey, you know what, that money's not going to be worth anything. So you understand that concept, right? So I hope if you do understand that concept and you borrowed to mortgage your house that you're living in, you'll probably run to the bank and you'll probably run and sell it right away. I hope you understand that. If you don't understand that, one day your brain will comprehend the logic and go, oh my God, I made a big mistake in buying this car, buying this house on credit. So if you can't pay, right, what happens is the bank takes it back, and in normal times they have to go and sell that asset onto the market in order to get the principal back, so they can wipe it out and then and start from zero, right? Because by the law, what the principal gets destroyed when they get back the money from you, and they have to get that money back, or if they don't, the principal must come from other assets that they have must to sell. So, for example, let's just say you bought $1 million home and you leveraged it 100%. They get back. They have $1 million debt now on the home. The bank has $1 million debt, and they get that home back, put on their books, and then they go and sell that home for only $500,000. Well, now they have another $500,000 that they need to come up with. So now what they have to do is, if they have another mortgage from Bob who's paying, they've got to sell that mortgage to someone else, right, and try to get some money in order to pay for that $500,000. Now, because they're not going to get $500,000 for selling that mortgage, they're going to have to sell multiple mortgages in order to cover that hole. So that's the problem. That's the problem that banks are facing right now, with all the different defaults that are coming down the pipe. So, how do they benefit from hyperinflation? Well, if they repo all those assets and use mark to fantasy, right? I mean mark to model, right? So that basically the asset, when they take back the mortgage, take back the house, instead of saying the house is worth $500,000, which is what the mark to market is price, right? I'm saying mortgages because it doesn't have to be mortgages, but just to make it simple for people, right? If they take back those assets, those buildings, those houses, those everything, right? And then they take them back, they put them on their books, right? And then they use mark to model or mark to fantasy and say, you know what, it's not worth $500,000, it's worth $1 million. And I just need to wait until the prices go up, right? And then, the laws say, okay, fine, we'll do that, right? Because I bet you they're going to do all that, 100% if it's not already done, right? And so once they hyperinflate, they own assets that they can now sell onto the market to cover their losses. Got it?
Oh, before going to the next question, we are 608 viewers right now. So people, if you really like the content and want to support Davinci, we will love to see more likes in this video.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to answer one more question, and then I'm going to have to cut it off because I have a meeting at 9 o'clock, and it's 5 to 9 right now. So let's just make this the last question. Okay, what's the last question you got?
What's the last question? Okay, and from Moses Foster says, that has to do a lot with the last question. Do you think that these world events, the virus, the inflation, the jobless rate, and the oil price madness are playing right into the scheme of the halving?
All the madness, all this thing's playing right into the scheme of the halving. Yeah, I mean, it just seems all... it seems like these coincidences are just like merging all together, all this that's happening. But you know what? It was going to happen one way or another. And I think the fact that this virus and the market collapsing and so forth just happens at this time, and it was just a pure coincidence. I can't really speculate beyond that. I can say I can speculate. It's just I'm going to probably be wrong.
I know a couple of guys that would say that this is not coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. And I can speculate that, right? And it smells bad, right? But that's all you got. It's like smells really, really bad. How could this big coincidence be true? Just I don't know. Right? So yeah, I get it. So I understand completely. If people were making conspiracy theories, those conspiracy theories might be conspiracy facts one day.
Wow.
So don't be surprised if that happens, right? All right. Well, with that said, thank you everyone for purchasing Pandora's wallet. Yesterday was the biggest sales day for us, and we really appreciate that. I've been working all day yesterday on publishing fixing up the white paper that I had written a while ago, like a month ago, and I just hadn't gotten back to fixing it. And I will be publishing that very, very soon, if not today, sometime on the weekend. Yeah, and then we'll be discussing that sometime next week. Also, if you're interested in Pandora's wallet, and I'm joining the Telegram group where I answer questions at least every day. Where whenever I have some time, I jump into the Telegram group and I answer all you have to do is to at DaVinciJ15 in the Telegram group, and I'll answer your questions. I'm in Telegram, and I have like 1,000 people asking me questions privately, and I just can't get to them all. This is just impossible. I mean, my Twitter as well is like loaded down with questions, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm going to keep it to the people who help support my company, Davinci Codes, and answer questions for people who join in that group. So for a limited time, until the end of this month, you can join that group forever and not be removed by simply purchasing any of the subscriptions of Pandora's wallet. You'll find that there's a little bit of a moth there, Mothra. By joining by purchasing a subscription here, and I can head over to I need to get the Glassnode account, man. Pay for the professional version. I will. What the hell was that?
I don't know. I have headphones on and my computer's mute.
All right. Well, let's head over to pandoraswallet.com. So if you head over to pandoraswallet.com, you could purchase any of these subscriptions, right? Even the 1 month subscription, and you'll be part of that group forever. So yeah, if you're interested, you also, another thing is that I will be giving any Pandora's Wallet subscriber, I will be giving them free tokens to the token that I'm going to be creating. Should I decide to create the token, actually, for this new version of Pandora's Wallet, which I'm going to be discussing in the white paper. So anyways, I look forward to seeing you guys in the Telegram group, and if you haven't seen the video popping up right here, you know what, I just realized that I should switch scenes here, popping up right here. Please check it out, and thank you for watching, and bye for now, people.
Bye, people. Cheers.
Cheers.